Hello, and hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you to my wonderful 1,638 subscribers. You are the reason I'm here. I'm here to enlighten, inspire, and build up you and humanity. You are humanity, and I know you want something out of life more than the normal. You're not a complier, you're not a follower, you're not one of the masses or the herd, as people say. If you were, you wouldn't be listening to me because I am not. Never been very compliant. Today's topic is going to be how to prepare for marriage in the USA. But before we begin, hit that like button, subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, follow me on Mark's Inspiration on IG, Instagram. And if you're watching this on Instagram, subscribe to me on YouTube at Mark Daniels Mark's Inspiration, Twitter Mark's Inspiration. Follow me on Rumble at Mark's Inspiration. What's the other one? And if you'd like to get my help personally, I do consultations or coaching if you like. marksinspiration.com. You can go there and book a consultation and find out more about me. Why am I talking about this today? I believe in marriage. I can't say I believe in marriage in the US, but if you want to take that risk, that's up to you, and I'm going to tell you what you can do to avoid catastrophe, if that's possible. The marriage contract does not mean too much here in the U.S. During the 70s, I think, Ronald Reagan made no-fault divorce, which means if your wife goes out, or if the husband goes out and sleeps with someone else, it's okay. And that was partly what the contract was about. You were to exclude yourself from all others, but now that's not the case. What we have is no-fault divorce. So no matter what she does, and I'm talking more about that because I'm speaking mostly to men, it's not her fault. She can just say, I don't want to be married anymore. And I've experienced that. I've been married 4 times. So you know I believe in marriage. But what I'm here to tell you today is this. What you want to do is prepare. Not prepare for the worst, but just be prudent. Prepare for possible outcomes. But the preparation is more for you to feel secure in yourself, to know that you're going to be okay, and this is what she wants, to know that you're going to be okay whether she stays or goes. And that's the best way to keep her staying. So I'm going to tell you how to do that. Number 1, you need to know game. I'm guessing that if she likes you, you must have everyone has some kind of game. But if you think the game stops after you marry, you're very mistaken. You have to continue to be the man that she fell in love with. Hopefully she was in love with you and she's not marrying you for resources. But if that's happening, you didn't have a very good game. But you have to continue to be that man. Too many of us men think once we get married, we got it all wrapped up. We come home, sit on the couch, drink a beer. Hey, I'm working, I'm paying the bills, I'm playing with the kids. What else do you want? Well, she wants a lot more than that, and especially in today's society. Now, years ago, it was a little different. Women didn't expect so much from men, and that's why I'm a proponent of dating outside of the U.S., because women have become so... Not all women, but if this is upsetting you and you're hearing it and you're a woman, it may be about you. But many women have great expectations of their husband and their married life. They think they're going to feel like they're in love, just like the day they met you. And feelings come and go. True love is a choice, because after the honeymoon stage is over, you better start choosing to love your wife, and you better hope, or you better be the man that she wants to choose to love on a daily basis. You have to choose each day to love your wife and your kids. You think maybe that's strange? You could choose to walk away, and men do, and sometimes women do. In my case, that's what their mom did. And my 6 kids, their mother chose to walk away. I gave her many opportunities, probably too many, and she just decided to leave. Well, it turned out good for me. But in most cases in the U.S., that's not what happens. She leaves, she takes the kids, and guess who pays child support? Hey, I'm all for taking care of your kids, but the child support can be raised up every year. Let's say when you guys split, you're making $100,000 a year. Okay, you raise it to $200,000 the next year. She can take you back each consecutive year every time your income goes up. So you see how difficult that could be. So number two, after being able to stay in the game after you get married and continue to play the game, or to be the man that she met because it's the man that she's in love with. Got a little dot on my thing. I wonder what that is. But anyway, you want to be financially secure enough that she could walk away and you'd be all right. And you had to be emotionally secure enough that she could walk away with the kids, with the house, and with another man, and you would be okay. And she would never know any difference. Because if she ever feels that it would destroy you if something happened to her, or if she left with another man, she will lose confidence in you, and you will not be the strong man she fell in love with, because that man wasn't worried about things like that. But it's easy for us to become attached to our wife and kids, which sounds normal, but you can't do that. Men of old many times went off. Men of old many times went off to sea for months and years, to war for months and years, or on an adventure for months and years. But nowadays, men seem to think they have to be there all the time. You don't have to be. You don't need your wife. You don't need your children. You have a responsibility to them to provide, protect, and to care for them. That is your responsibility as a man. She has a responsibility as a woman to raise your children, to nurture them, to be there for you, to provide you with comfort and a peaceful home. It's really pretty simple. But we as men and women in modern society, through our women's liberation and equality movement, have made this more difficult than it actually is. Thus, we have this division of man and woman. I'm not sure what they're doing out there, making some noise. So that's the number two thing. You must be willing to let her walk, and you must be willing to walk out the door. It's also up to you to keep some mystery. Because once she gets to know everything about you, she's going to become bored. And let's say you're in your 20s and you're marrying a girl in your 20s, or she's in her 20s too, and you are. These women still need a little excitement in their life. She needs to be surprised once in a while. That's part of knowing game. If you can't do that, she's going to become bored easily and may run off with the Chad down the street who's riding the Harley Davidson who just got out of jail. Yeah, believe it or not. Even though you're a good husband, a good father, and a good provider, it doesn't matter. Women live more on emotions. They don't think logically, especially when it comes to attraction. So you have to keep her off her guard, so to speak. You have to make it so she never really knows what you're doing or what you're up to. A little jealousy never hurt anything. I'm not telling you to blatantly make her jealous, but if you're out at dinner and a waitress flirts with you, it's okay to smile back at her, and she may go off on you. And that's okay too. She needs to have a little bit of that competition anxiety. Now, I'm not telling you to rub anything in her face, but this will maintain her attraction for you. Think about this. If you've dated a few girls, maybe a lot of girls, whatever, and your girl cheated on you, or maybe you thought she was going to cheat on you, or you didn't know if you quite had her. Remember how good it was when you had sex with her? How different that was compared to when you knew you had her and she wasn't going anywhere? See, that builds that attraction up. Well, that's even more profound in women. So she needs to always wonder whether or not you're going to be there for her. I know women say they want security, and you do provide a security in other ways, but not in this way. She needs to wonder. She needs to have that competition anxiety. Very important that she has to know that you can have another woman. She has to know that you have options. Even though you're married, you may not be exercising those options, but she needs to know that you have options. Now, if you're in a marriage where you don't want to be monogamous, and you've said that you and her were going to be monogamous, then you don't need to be running around. But if you didn't agree upon that, I can't say that it's a bad idea if you have other women, if you're married and you haven't agreed to be monogamous. If you have, then you're going against your word as a man. And all men have is their word. I done that one time. It doesn't work out well because in the end, it's self-destruct. It destroys you. It doesn't hurt her as bad as it does you. she may never know you're cheating. A lot of times they will know, they really don't want to know. And as long as you don't rub it in their face, they're okay with it. But as I said, if you've agreed with her that there's going to be no other women, that destroys you. So decide that when you get married, how you're going to make your vows, what you're going to agree to. I mean, if you tell her, honey, I love you and I'm going to be here for you, I don't know if I can remain faithful. A lot of girls will accept that as long as you don't rub it in their face. Some girls like that. Some girls want that. For example, side chicks. They don't want you to be faithful. They want to be a side chick. They know their place. And the minute you try to make them your girlfriend, they'll go find somebody else so they can be a side chick for them. That's the way it works. Now, if you've never experienced that, you may not understand that, but that's the psychology and the dynamics of relationships with men and women. So I'm going to stop it there. Thanks for joining me. Again, thank you, 1,638 of you. I welcome you. I appreciate you. And I want to provide value to you, something that will help you in your life, because invariably, I'm a selfish guy. It comes back and helps me. So leave a comment in the comment section if you'd like me to speak on something, or if you have any questions, I can answer them. The day will come when I may have too many and I won't be able to answer them, but today I can, so take advantage of it. Take care. See you next time.